You are welcome again to another episode of LFN What's Your Say? The leading listening show where we discuss important issues with important people like you. We are again featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly, aka the R&B King. There are in fact so many lies involved in the case against R. Kelly, and by lies we are referring to events as that when Lisa Van Allen made 2 court appearances decades apart stating she was 17 and underage when she met R. Kelly. This was effectively disproved when the accuser was reminded that her first meeting with the R&B King was actually at the Home Alone video shoot, which by computation makes her 18 and R. Kelly 31. By lies we are speaking of how Azriel Clary's parents did actually send their daughter to R. Kelly on a mission to blackmail and defraud him, with her own mother playing the role of coach on how she would lure R. Kelly into sleeping with her, and how she would lie to him she was 18 yet left with a few months to become an adult. Thankfully, this was also busted by the text message evidence that shows her mother Alice Clary exchanging love notes to lead R. Kelly on while pretending to be her Azriel, and later texting with her daughter celebrating a son-in-law that was going to be older than her. Unfortunately in this case, the text message evidence was completely ignored by the New York judge Ann Donnelly, who preferred to convict R. Kelly regardless of the circumstances surrounding the case. And by lies we are talking about events as those that saw the government allege forced labor based on one-time forced sexual encounters, which just doesn't justify the charges. Without spending much time explaining more lies to do with how government, together with the Bureau of Prisons and blogger Tasha K, illegally accessed inmate communication data to use in compromising a one Azriel Clary and causing her to flip to the government side, let's address the elephant in the room, and that is the RICO enterprise theory, which completely failed to check out even though the government insists that it applies. The lie of the enterprise theory is so far the biggest lie in legal history, where the government, and particularly in the case against R. Kelly, would like to insinuate that they needn't prove the existence of a common illegal purpose in order to charge and convict a defendant for RICO violation. What we have found rather conflicting is that while the government insists that they needed not prove this common criminal or call it illegal purpose, they also insist that they managed to prove the existence of a criminal enterprise. This is contradicting, though, considering the term criminal enterprise does constitute both the element of a common purpose in the term enterprise, and the act of committing crimes. While an enterprise can be any organization of people working with a common purpose as a team, for it to turn into a criminal enterprise, the common purpose has to move from legitimate work to committing crimes. An enterprise therefore only qualifies as RICO if the common purpose is to commit crimes. In the biggest lie of the season, though, the government wants to convince us that even though they needed not prove a common illegal purpose, they still proved a criminal enterprise, which is impossible. Even thinking logically about it, it just doesn't make any sense. According to the interpretation of government, though, they believe that the only proof of the enterprise they had to show was its existence, which may be legal or not legal to mean formally registered or unregistered. Examples of the latter being street gangs that certainly do not have any real legal existence. Well, newsflash to the government, that can only prove an enterprise but not a criminal enterprise as required by the statute. And for a criminal enterprise to exist, the members of this group have to share in a common purpose to commit crimes, something the government was not able to prove when it comes to the case against R. Kelly. And what makes the government appear hypocritical is the fact that even as they continued to suggest they needed not prove a common illegal purpose, they actually did make several failed attempts to do this. All the government presented in an attempt to prove a common illegal purpose were allegations of staff inviting fans backstage, and an exchange of phone numbers, which is certainly not illegal. When the state attorneys speak of these events, though, they try to make them sound as though they are crimes. But there is nothing illegal at all with inviting fans backstage to meet with an artist, which is something even other artists do. Plus, nothing would put R. Kelly's employees to notice that R. Kelly would eventually end up in relationships with any of these people, or that they were even underage in the first place to prohibit this. The government also suggests that because it was R. Kelly's employees that booked his flights whenever he traveled, and those of the people he traveled with, including these women, that this justifies their RICO claims. This, however, doesn't prove that these employees who were only doing their job were sharing in a common purpose to commit any crimes, considering it's not illegal to book a flight for a woman above the age of consent in the state of Chicago. These assistants were only out there to do their job, and nothing put them to notice of what R. Kelly was allegedly doing. All this said and done leaves no reason for government to claim they proved a criminal enterprise where no common criminal purpose there exists. We cannot blame R. Kelly's alleged individual crimes on the enterprise whose purpose was solely to promote his music business. And even if they insisted that he still used them, they also can't claim that R. Kelly used his music business management team for his illegal intentions, considering he added no new roles to their job descriptions. He left his team alone to continue doing their normal work while he built his personal relationships and kept them personal like the evidence shows. The DOJ ought to know that we actually do know what the law says about RICO in relation to proving a criminal enterprise theory. And we know that the organizations the statute intended to punish were those that engaged in a common purpose to commit crimes. Not those that continued to do their normal business while a member from Whitting committed his own crimes. All laws in this nation are meant to punish crime and not the existence of organizations whether registered or not. This is why Attorney Bonjean kept insisting she is not concerned with the structure of the organization but its criminal behavior, and as far as the evidence available is concerned, there is nothing to prove that R. Kelly's music management team in any way participated in any criminal proceeding.
The government has extended the RICO statute to a set of circumstances that's so beyond what the framers intended, which was to get at organized crime. And now we're talking about an organization with an alleged criminal, but not organized crime. And it is not enough simply that there be a pattern of racketeering that satisfies the enterprise. There has to be something more. The pattern of racketeering can be proof of the enterprise, but it cannot simply be the only evidence of the enterprise.
If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sasha@lfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.